Yay, it didn't crash. Hello and welcome to session 52 of Dreamers of Kiriak. We last left the party on a boat several weeks ago. Again. We are truly berserk now. That is, we have taken up the mantle. The boat will never end. In the last session, the party had kidnapped a navigator, I believe, who Pimrin has convinced is in a dream, even though Nine keeps telling him he's not in a dream.
Who are you gonna believe?
Apparently he's believing Pimrin for the moment. Nine made the very reasonable argument that because he slapped the guy in the back of the head and knocked him out, he should believe him. I don't think the guy bought the argument, but it was quite convincing to some of the sailors standing around.
Violence is usually the answer.
Quite persuasive. There is a book that was found in the captain's quarters that turned out to be an eldritch tome written in the deep speech.
Deep speech has no written language.
Yes. It was written in Gnomish, apparently, or adapted from Gnomish. Dwarvish. Yes, the navigator thought it was Gnomish, but it was actually Dwarvish. It was determined through a poorly translated wiki that deep speech is primarily racial in nature.
Right.
I'd forget about that whole interlude.
It was learned that there are many things that are basic for you to take on your crusade.
Yes.
The use of the earworms was made to read syllables aloud and decipher them and get to the bottom of some of the fancy magic in the book. The entity with whom the captain made a contract leaves your mind as soon as you hear it, and you are aware that that is the case. You rung the bell, and the eye guy came, and you're like, hey, can you get us some scrolls of identify? And he's like, no. And you're like, okay. And that's pretty much where we left off. There was, you learned about the incubators, who are the squids from the dreaming, just the little squiddy boys, who sometimes get possessed by other minds, and then the parasitic sort of relationship there can cause the two of them to merge into a Neverborn. If a mortal eats one of them, you just turn into a little squiddy boy. So that's just how it goes. And they seem to be the basis of a lot of the magic in this book. I believe there was...
Apparently not a cookbook.
Apparently not a cookbook, even though there's clearly lots of fish in it and lots of mentions of eating magical fish. That sounds like a cookbook to me, but I don't make the rules.
Don't.
Pretty much, yes. It's like a reverse cookbook.
But they're all, if eaten, this happens, we only recognize the word eaten.
Yes. And the navigator tried to go for a swim, and the iron stopped him from doing so. And I believe we essentially left off with the party making their final decision whether they're going to try to go for this island where there may or may not be a gigantic squid that has previously messed with the captain who was trying to steal all of its magical treasure, or whether you're just trying to go directly to your destination.
We decided not to, right?
I don't think you did.
I think we decided their destination, yeah.
Forget squids.
Okay.
I got stuff to check on.
How long would it take them to translate the whole book?
That's a very good question. It's a big old book.
How many spells would they accidentally cast reading a magical book?
That's also a very good question.
Aren't you the one reading the Dwarvish and translating it?
I'm reading it. Somebody else.
So there'll be... It'll be a several-day journey, and nothing spectacular is going to happen to you on the journey, but the things that you do may cause terrible things to happen.
We've been on the boat a few days, right?
You've been on the boat a few days.
Can it be assumed then that I've used my hit dice and
Yes, everybody can get all of their hit dice back and complete a long rest if you haven't already recently.
We're never even hurt.
The Spaghetti-O Man
speak for yourself?
is going to fade from reality pretty quickly with the captain not being here. Your speed will drop very dramatically.
The
But
spaghetti left?
yes,
It was deteriorating.
yep.
Oh.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
We need to make a new one.
Now we're
If only you had read the book on
There's
how to
probably
make spaghetti, man.
Well, look in the thing for a picture of spaghetti.
Would you like to stop trying to translate the whole book and instead search for the specific Spaghetti-O ritual?
Did we ever actually see it?
Pimrin did.
Did he describe
Because he
it?
went he went under.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he
I
could,
did not describe it to anyone.
Okay.
I'm sure he could pick it out.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
being
I-
a druid, you can turn into something that can go into the water and keep up for a short period of time. I don't think
Done that
probably
before.
anybody without a fly or swim speed is going to be able to get close enough to, like, see.
Of course, the last time you did
I
that,
thought
we
you said
lost
it
a
was
party
gone.
member.
It'll be gone after a few days.
Dan's not here, so-
This is we have a span of time to fill. What are you guys going to do in that time? Do you want to, like, do anything or do you just want to chill?
I wouldn't be able to turn into it though.
I think permanently very occupied fishing and feeding people.
Probably. It's a pretty time-consuming job.
That's his
It's not a
entire
beast,
job.
is it?
It is not a beast, no. You will not be able to turn into it. I'm not entirely sure why you would want to, but you will not be able
All right,
to.
well, I'll ask him to look through the book and see if he sees it. Anyway, we can try to get a recipe for one.
We don't need another.
You will not see an illustration of it in the book.
Alas.
Oh no, we're going at normal boat speed, like originally intended. What
That's
travesty!
unacceptable.
Do you have any souls? I mean, it'd be much faster just summon the giant.
What?
I don't have anything to put them in yet. I still haven't gotten the soul container.
Ah,
Oh, right. You're still searching for that.
Yes.
Searching for it. He's just lazy. He doesn't want to give me his kidney or whatever.
Wait, if you can't even get a scroll of identify to us, something as powerful as a soul container,
He can
like,
give me his kidney. Like, it's right there.
I technically have no rebuttal for that. Does it even have one?
Would anybody's kidney work? Was it a kidney?
It was like a stomach
No.
is, I believe, the organ he used as
sure
a
we can arrange
simile.
for a stomach.
They're probably special stomach. Okay, we can try to translate the book then.
Okay.
You sure you just don't want to kill a crew member?
Would anybody like to
get
help
there.
shit
The next time
translate this?
one mysteriously dies at 9
I
p.m.
should still want translating. I should want somebody to write. So I
Yeah,
guess
you
I'll,
need to write it.
I'll sit and write.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
No books, only fish.
Do I give up on my illiteracy?
I don't think that's a very good question. If you can't read them, then you can't read them.
If I'm just
Is Asha the only one with
sounding it out,
But
Dwarvish?
you don't know, like,
I know the alphabet.
do you know the alphabet?
If you did, you wouldn't be illiterate.
Hey, I think that's how that
Because
works.
there's a difference between knowing what those letters sound like and being able to make the words out of them.
But like,
I'm just sitting there like a 4-year-old making the sounds.
Pimrin knows Dwarvish.
Okay.
But I'm fishing, so
yeah, I think it was Pimrin reading them out loud previously.
I think that
It may
makes
have
sense.
been.
What the hell did I read?
Pimrin just has a whole bunch of random, like, normal race
I have
languages.
Elvish.
Yeah,
I don't have
like a normal person.
Yeah, because he just traveled around a
Up
lot.
to y'all, I
so
guess.
that's a lot of languages. He doesn't know these stinking deep speech and draconic and
How you don't know your ABCs, I don't know.
I was raised by frogs.
that changes every time.
It was a long time ago. I forget what I was raised by.
Anything but other dwarves is really the answer there.
You ever
Yes.
seen a swamp dwarf?
Well, first the
we
frogs
have
took her in and then abandoned her.
Yeah, it was a cycle, I see.
We will raise the
And this is why she hates orphans.
All comes
We will
together.
raise the child, said the frogs, and then burrowed into the mud and hibernated for the winter. And then Nasha just assumed that they abandoned her. Then spring came, they're like, where is the strangely large frog? Must have died. Let's continue being frogs. So,
What the hell?
you can do your best to try to study this book despite not being able to read it. Do you have another way you'd like to study it?
I don't have a lot of tools available to
No.
me. Yes.
I mean, if you're only pronouncing it,
You don't need to be literate in Dwarvish. It's not written in Dwarvish. It's just using Dwarvish characters.
Yeah, but
You're
if
just
I don't-
making sounds.
I apparently don't know what they are.
Are you truly that stupid?
He said I can't. I
Yeah.
can't just say yes, I can.
So you truly are that stupid?
if you're trying to pronounce it phonetically, it's not going to sound like anything. So
Like,
the
you
earbud
can-
won't be able to
You're
translate.
going to have to pronounce it phonetically. How else would you?
That's
Pronounce
kind
it.
of
Assuming Dwarvish
that's
is like
kind of
an
the entire
phonetic
point.
alphabet,
Like, if
yeah.
you can pronounce the characters phonetically and you can speak the language, then I think you can be said to be able to read it. Maybe not
Dwarvish
very
have
well.
No silent characters.
At this point, if you can read Dwarvish characters aloud, can your ear thing just translate it
Well,
for you and now you're just not illiterate anymore?
That was
Yes.
what the whole thing was last
Right,
session.
yeah.
Was that this thing would translate the sounds you were making?
I have this magical ability where if I look at letters and then I say the sounds they make, my brain conjures up key value pairs of these sounds and connects them to ideas that I previously had. I may not be able to read, but you know, I get by pretty good.
You could have convinced Goras that that was a special magic talent.
Yeah, but let's say they read the
probably
word
was.
dead, but they do it phonetically, so it's diad.
Well, yeah, but it's written with Dwarvish letters, but another language. So
Can you give me
you'd have to write it out phonetically to write another language in
That's
a
true.
language.
Can you give me a intelligence roll,
Yeah, but
Asha?
even that's, I mean, look at
Well, I
how many
didn't say it'd be
times the
flawless.
spelling of Chinese cities has changed in my lifetime.
20.
20.
I think that's like having Latin, just in general.
Yeah, we had absolutely no idea what we were doing when we tried to create phonetics for Chinese characters back in the day. It's
We
kind
still
of
don't. It's changed in the last 20 years.
Oh, 21.
yes, but they're like based on how people actually like say the words now instead of well, I can't pronounce whatever that person's saying, so I'm just gonna vaguely guess. But you know, we still don't have a like tonal language, so it still doesn't work. Sorry, you said you got a 20.
Not 20.
Not 20. All right, you kind of started to learn how to read when like Pimrin was enabling it by like reading it. Like you have recently learned the very basics of literacy.
I'm very
So
smart.
congratulations. You it's going to still be very difficult for you to do this, but it will be doable.
The concept of
So
reading.
rather than
After
giving
root, we
if
you just teach Solaire what the characters are.
so since Solaire is helping you, you're not going to be at disadvantage.
Okay.
Can you please make me a
How is Solaire helping?
Well, I have to say it, but he has to write it. I write what he hears with his hand.
and a lot of it's like Solaire's like, you sure you read that one right? Because that doesn't sound right. And then the Nashit's like, oh yeah, let me check. Oh yeah,
Well, that sounds like the worm family.
neat.
Worm
It's
to start screaming.
Your accent's a little
Well,
off.
because the worm will take me saying it poorly and translate it perfectly
your worm
to
has
your brain.
horrific brain damage from all of the things that you put into your body.
Yeah, but it's my worm I'm listening
worm.
to, not her.
This
It's
one's
contagious.
great. Drug use is contagious.
For the next alien
Last
species where we meet, they're just going to be like talking backwards to us and stuff. Like, it won't make any sense.
It's worm-tageous.
You need to defrag your earworm.
They're only supposed to last like a week.
Can we just like summon an eye worm for Asha to read this thing instead?
These
Good, that's kind of a cool idea.
yeah, these worms are
You should ask him
have
if
lived
there's an eye worm.
like far longer than they were supposed
Do
to.
not ask him to give us an eye
I
worm.
feel like Asha has worse things.
Solaire wants an eye worm.
Ring the bell.
Yes.
Asha just give the bell to Slayer. Take it. There you go. Take an eye worm.
We could just have him, like, give us a translator. Somebody speaks these languages.
Find me a dwarf.
Do we actually
Just a
know
dwarf would
what
help.
language it is?
No, but
A
he
literate
probably
dwarf.
does.
Yeah, I don't think any of you identified the actual language that
The
it
worm
is.
is just doing it for us. We don't even know.
Yeah, can you just have him bring us a literate dwarf? That's literally all we need. One of the crew members
A
may
literal
be
literate dwarf.
One of the crew members may be a literate dwarf. Did we look?
That's a very good question.
Did we notice
You
at one
also
point?
don't even
Was
need
the
to be
blacksmith a dwarf? Oh, no, we left him.
Illiterate
behind.
dwarf
No,
or
we brought him.
illiterate dwarf?
A
The blacksmith is still
literate
working on the
dwarf.
armor.
This is gonna be this is where we go on a high roll.
Are any of the crew members dwarf?
There's a dwarf, but he's not literate.
Yeah, just have him give us a dwarf that can read. That's all
First,
we
they drag the dwarf over and say, "What's this say?"
No, I think
don't know. Look, don't worry. It's written in a different language, but in dwarfish.
More direct for us to just go for the eye worms first. Far less convoluted.
I'm a little confused what you're asking for. I keep a dwarf and an eye dwarf, a dwarf worm.
This, but for my eye.
Whatever he wants, but also a dwarf that can read and write.
Well, technically it's for Slayer.
A dwarf that can read.
It doesn't have
Doesn't have to write. Just
So
has to
at this point, was Solaire given the bell before it was rung?
Yes.
Okay, so he's gonna ignore everybody else and just look at Solaire. What would you like?
So I'm going to try and explain the earworm that we
Yes.
got from whatever the hell planet that
He's
was.
probably
Yes.
familiar with it. He knows a lot of things.
And ask him if there is such a thing for the eye so that you can read languages.
I'm really glad you're asking and not me.
How interesting.
Does this exist someplace in the universe?
It is very likely there is a kind of creature which dwells within the eye, which enhances the abilities of the eye. I do not know whether it could allow you to read,
Yeah.
but I can find an eye-dwelling creature for you if you would like.
Okay.
With that specific property.
And you needed what?
I
Hang on. I don't know what we're getting here.
Test it on a crewmate first.
I do believe I can
try.
ensure it will enhance the capabilities of the organ in which it dwells.
Cool.
If it doesn't
Bring
work
us
in
two,
one eye, we
please.
can get another one.
And can you please bring us a dwarf that can read?
Yes.
No.
No, dwarf.
Just read. Just read dwarf.
Just read dwarf.
Only reads common.
A dwarf thumps down onto the deck
You want to
immediately.
know?
What?
You want to know while you're at it?
Doesn't need to be able to read that one.
Yeah. Preferably doesn't have any thought or
So you
capabilities.
didn't realize you could do this.
No, we're
You could have had entertainment.
I'll
this whole
save
time.
that.
You could have saved that one.
So this is a
not
very
an at-sea activity.
tired, like middle-aged dwarf lady just thumped down on the desk.
We have a job for you. By the way, sorry, I have no idea how far we are from your home.
Or where we are.
She seems to be wearing a like prisoner's uniform.
Oh, it's your lucky day.
You could see
Yeah.
in our merry band.
I'm gonna eat everybody.
That was some good cinnamon,
What?
Oh boy, not the same.
evidently. Just lies down on the deck and immediately goes to sleep.
Cool. All right, she's yours.
I don't want her.
You two any
You're
dwarf
a
together.
dwarf.
Okay. Has he?
And then two little
Oh,
insects fall to the deck. I have paralyzed them, says the eye creature.
You can do that?
I think it only really works with small bug-like
He's got a lot
creatures
of
such as
eyes,
this.
So he probably knows what he's doing when it comes to.
I dragged them through the plane of ice, just for a moment, so that they stopped moving.
I see. Very Very clever.
So how do you get them in the eye?
I can't say that I know. If you look closely at them, they look like little pill bugs, just with like very, very sharp little legs. And like one big eye in their forehead. I imagine you just sort of plop them in.
Find us a crew member we can try this out on.
Oh, why waste another crew member?
That's why I got 2.
I thought you wanted one for you.
No,
They
I
are
got 2,
beginning
one that
to,
we can experiment with, and one that
They are beginning to wiggle. They may escape if you wait too long.
not
You may
want
wish
There's going
One
to grab
for
one
each
of them and
eye.
hold it up to his right eye.
Okay. It will leap into your eye and burrow its way in if you allow it to.
Well, that was the point.
Can you give me a Constitution saving throw, please? As it's quite a painful process.
Before anyone grabs the other one, who's doing that one, I gotta speak with animals just in
Okay.
case there's any chance.
Okay, well, you kill us immediately.
4.
Okay, you were not expecting it to hurt quite this much, and you get the worst headache of your life and take 5 piercing damage.
Welcome to my day.
You fall to one knee for a moment, but you're able to hold on to your consciousness and not black out.
So it's worse if you stick that one in your eye. It hurts.
Oh, it's not for me. I have to
Oh,
fish. Yeah.
No, don't use it as bait.
No, of course not.
Okay.
For those of you looking on, you can see that it pulled the eye closed after it. It's just kind of sitting there, like it's used some kind of substance to like just glue it shut. So you can just see a tiny little pill bug just sort of squatting in
Hey, as this book look to you now.
Solaire's eye. You are currently blind in that eye, Solaire. Pimran, you have cast Speak with Animals.
Yeah, while the other one is wriggling, I just want
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me down there?
Yes.
Oh boy, it's working. I can talk to it, guys.
Hello.
Hi.
Can you talk to mine because I can't see right?
Blood just.
Yeah, does that one respond either? Like, hello?
You hear a bubbling noise as it is currently living within
It's working.
viscous
It's not working.
fluids.
So, I don't really know where you come from or what you are or anything, but it's nice to meet you.
Oh, it's nice to meet you too.
Well, so what do you do?
I travel the wide world and I find eyes and I make my home within them.
Is this like a symbiotic relationship type deal?
I don't know what that means.
That is fair.
You will not.
All I know is that eyes are nice and it is my wonderful purpose in life to find the most beautiful eye
Yeah, they seem
and
pretty
dwell within it.
trustworthy. Honestly.
Okay.
I don't think
Well,
they-
stuff doesn't seem to be doing anything except I can't see that eye right now.
Right, it might be in progress still.
Oh.
Yeah, it's working its magic.
You might want to ask them what they do.
You should take the other one on.
I want to see what happens. They have
they did answer that. They said that they like eyes.
Okay, but what do they do for the person whose eyes they're in?
They
My
don't- they
great
don't-
grandmother found the eye of a bird and now she soars the skies and looks down upon us all. It is a lovely thing. But I think perhaps there is something even greater out there for me.
Do they go blind?
Do the creatures that you enter the eyes of, inhabit the eyes of, do they tend to find this a beneficial experience, or do they try and take you out?
That's a very good question. It seems to be an incredibly painful process for them for a short time, but afterward they seem to just sort of forget that we're there.
No pain, no gain, I guess, right? But
No gain at all?
just pain.
Yeah, maybe your solution to reading a book shouldn't be parasites.
Nah, it's worked once in this universe, so it'll work every time.
You gotta get that parasite.
Well, oh, shit, the other one's all yours, so I need to fish. I don't have time for the book.
Maybe the navigator could use it.
Maybe.
Well, I will put it in a little bug container until we know what it
Okay.
does.
Oh, this is not an eye.
Do you only eat eyes?
I don't know what eat means.
If we leave you alone, will you just die because you've been left alone too
Oh
long?
yes, I'll be homeless.
Does that
So
kill?
do you die of homelessness?
Yes.
Okay, good to know. So it needs eyes to live.
How long can it go without an eye?
Yeah, how long can you be homeless?
I don't know. I've been homeless my whole life, but it doesn't seem to have been fatal yet. But I feel very strongly it will be.
It's a shame they weren't around when we were fighting all the giant eyes. Just
hurl them. Deal 5 damage a pop.
We didn't know
A handful of pill bugs at your enemy.
Completely blind and beholder. Some druid just summons a pack of eyes.
Speak with Animals did work on it, so.
I can turn into an eye bug now.
You can turn into an eye bug, yes. You may.
If you turn into an eye bug, can you read?
Dig your way into Solaire's other eye. Hey, this is great.
It's gonna suck in
I
2
think
hours when I turn.
5e design is going to force me to have you exit the eye before turning back into into an
It's not a
object.
completely enclosed space. I would just spring forth from that.
You just show up in a nearby unoccupied
This
by
line fighting thing. Hey,
A pencil diameter column of meat and bone that just explodes outward from the eye and impales your enemy.
A druid can't turn back
in the right
into a
direction.
druid if it's in an enclosed space, right?
I believe so, yes.
So if there's a little opening, they'll be forced out of that opening?
I think you're forced
trying to
out,
rail
and then it's physics doesn't work.
Yeah.
Is how
I
druids
was gonna
work.
try to use it like a druid gun.
No.
Yeah, I would be all for that, but I think Wizards has made it very clear that's not how druids work.
Did they specify you
I-
can't make a druid gun?
I believe I am certain that they have specified that in the past.
They probably have.
Because of millions of variations of players asking, well, if I was in somebody's ear and I...
It's gotta be on Jared and Crawford's Twitter. Like,
Yeah.
That's where the answer exists.
I feel like the end result is
it's the worst job in all.
yeah.
I don't care if you're a beetle.
Stop
you
asking
can't
about
go in
milking the
someone's
druids. Yes, also that.
It was a good idea while it lasted.
butt. No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
You just
You're just jealous because you don't have a bug in your eye.
You can have an eye bug if you want. You can, I promise.
I can be the eye bug.
He's got so many parasites on him already.
I have no parasites. I keep myself
I
very.
beg to
No.
differ. You got infested with parasites a long time ago. Deliberately.
By me.
So meanwhile, your navigator has just kind of gone dead inside and is just kind of like sitting on the deck since 9 wouldn't let him swim. He's just kind of waiting to wake up.
It's a long dream, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, somewhere like
dream.
that.
Longest dream I've ever had.
When you wake up, it'll feel like it's been shorter, though, because, that's how dreams work.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's not a dream.
I asked him if he wants an eye bug.
That doesn't sound good to me. That doesn't sound even...
What do you have to lose if this is a dream?
I'll be the angel on your shoulder here and say that is the nightmare path of the dream.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. That's,
Yeah.
Is our friend still here?
No, he provided you with the eye
There,
bug.
that's,
What?
And he provided you with the dwarf who is now sleeping.
you want him to ring?
Just call them.
Okay, Pemberton calls about every 3 seconds.
Yes.
Can you
they're
go
on-
under
he's
the
on
ship and see
retainer.
what it is that's propelling us forward?
That wasn't part of our deal.
But is it possible?
It's
Because
possible, yes. I could just go.
Well, I want to know if you can bring us another one. But I don't know how to tell you what it is without you going and looking at it.
Something big enough to push the ship as fast as it's going. I have to imagine I would not be able to, no.
But you don't know what it is.
No.
Have you looked?
No.
Go look.
I'm not going to look.
But you have so many eyes. You can stay looking at us and look at it, too.
I probably could, but I'm not going to. That wasn't part of the contract. Would you like to make a new contract? I've got one here we could draw up.
I'm pretty sure part of the contract was you were going to attempt to supply us with the things we asked you of.
Yes.
You haven't even looked to see if you can do this. Therefore, you are in violation of the contract.
Usually
Get out of my
I am.
mansion.
No. We need him.
He's making some sense.
He has his choice. He can either look at the thing and make a decision or get the hell out of my
Yeah, let's
mansion.
look at the thing first.
All right. He just stares at you for a second. No, I can't get one.
Go look.
I did.
No, you didn't.
Were you there? Could you tell?
He can
You
do
have it?
things.
Could you tell that I was absent?
He might be able to do that. I don't know.
Do I think he's lying?
Could he summon like 100 like dolphins?
Yes,
Can roll inside if you would like.
I don't need to roll.
Could he summon like 100 dolphins that get attached to the bottom of the ship?
2030.
He had such conviction in his voice, you cannot help but
I
believe
think
him.
he really. He's got so many eyes. He's got.
That's great. And he can get his little butt over the side and go look.
I have,
He did.
I have performed my...
You will go look to my
Duty.
satisfaction, or you will get out of my house.
Is there some reason you can't go into this thing?
I don't understand what the confusion is. I have upheld my end of the bargain. I will leave now. Goodbye. He vanishes.
What the other
Do you
day?
think we interrupted him in the middle of something, and he's
He
just
had
like,
just left.
let's get back to it? Well, back to fishing.
Your vision slowly begins to return, Salir.
You realize I'm going to have to go back to the mansion and go kick his ass out.
There might be a legitimate reason. We need
That he
a
was
boat.
too lazy to go a few feet and look over the edge of the
He
boat.
hasn't been reluctant to do any stupid ass thing we've asked him so
He
far. So
hasn't done 99% of the things we've asked him to do so far.
there's either a good
All he
reason
has to
or
say is, I can't do that. And we let him off the hook every time.
it's fine. He's more useful than not useful. I don't want to lose the ability to just randomly summon a literate dwarf. You never know when you're gonna need.
The supposedly literate dwarf is snoring at the
You're
moment.
just thinking of summoning gnomes. I know what you're up to.
A lot of notes.
Specifically illiterate gnomes.
None of these
You could've
gnomes
replaced this
had better
crew
know how
with a
to
crew of
read.
Gnomes
We could.
and little sailor outfits.
The gnomes are so secretive about their language, they stopped teaching it to their own generations.
I know what I'm doing in my retirement.
Playing the long game.
Okay, when this dwarf wakes up, you two need to translate the book.
I'm not gonna wake up, she says.
Okay.
Oh, in the dwarf. I'm fishing, I'm busy.
You're gonna work with this very handsome man.
With the bug eye.
Am I now?
Would you rather go into the water?
You only know
She
one
opens her eyes
method
and
of
says,
coercion.
you know what? Suddenly I feel like I'm in the mood for
Typically seems to
working.
work.
There are ways to get people to do what you want without threatening them.
No, there aren't.
Yeah, you send them into the dream world.
And sometimes they get turned into balloons and float into the atmosphere.
Sometimes they die.
Sometimes they die.
Sometimes they become horses in another dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't even have to send them into the dream world for that to happen.
What other option do I have to get people to do this?
So we're translating a book. Well, I don't know anything about books,
You
so
don't need to.
It opens. There's pages.
yep,
Paper
I'm aware of the
primarily.
concept.
So you just said you didn't know about books.
You just have
Yeah.
to read the letters out to me.
You read this just as it's written.
This is all
Take it.
nonsense.
Yes,
Yes,
I
it
know
is.
that. I'll fix the
You're
nonsense.
just gonna sound it out, and that's literally it.
You're just reading the nonsense.
All right.
After that, you get a free trip to
To the
Keep
lighthouse.
talking.
to the lighthouse, for God's sake. Wherever it is we're going.
All right.
I think he knows.
Is there going to be food?
Yeah.
Oh, he's supplying the food.
Yeah.
Well, I really can't say I have any complaints. And she will happily read.
I'm pretty sure our
Syllables
tankers
allowed.
make dwarvish ale, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, we got this covered.
I like that your box of toys says not children's products on it.
This was what company was this? This would have been Games Workshop, so this would have been Warhammer minis and paint.
That's needlessly age restrictive. I think every child should be fighting the heresy of the orcs and
That really is very sound logic.
chainsawing people.
Yeah.
So it's going to take quite a while, but you will eventually have a translation of the book. I assume that if you don't have supplies, you can just easily ask for supplies to write a book, and you'll get them.
I'm sure someplace in my deluxe captain's cabin there's probably paper and
Probably something.
something.
We may have even actually covered that last session. You've got whatever supplies you'll need, you'll have them.
Yeah.
Excuse me, goodness. Nine, what are you doing?
I mean, I'm against everything that's happening.
Would you like to take a
Well, it
swim?
is.
I think everyone but me should die.
Are you willing to take steps to make that happen?
No.
Because like the end result is you're on a boat in the middle of the ocean, and I'm not really sure what else is going to happen from there. So then you just kind of die.
The boat just drifts off screen and the credits roll. That's the end of the campaign.
Why? We just send him to the dream.
I've come back.
With a gun.
No, because we'll have killed your body by the time before you come back.
Every time we go to the dream, Nine gets another gun somehow.
Let's just throw him overboard.
Yeah, sure.
And we didn't kill him.
So do you have
He can probably swim.
any project that you're going to be working on for the next few days? Nine.
Seething.
Understandable.
Outing.
Excellent.
No, it's just seething. I don't experience sadness.
You
or
are
rage.
at sea, so I guess seething is a appropriate activity. Ah, shit. What are you going to be doing?
Blacksmith is back on shore at the casino.
Still working.
Yes.
So there, is his anger thing still with the blacksmith?
So,
It gets more powerful with every day that Nine seethes.
I want to cultivate and continue to experiment with the various things living on my body parts.
Okay.
Maybe I can come up with something.
we need to get.
Would you like to focus on vegetables or
What?
on beasts?
I mean, I've got mushrooms and crabs and drugs.
Yes.
I've got animals, vegetables, and minerals.
And absolutely no specialty with any of them.
All right. Would you?
Which one are you going to focus on?
Yes. You can either say you can do it generally, or you can focus on one.
I want to focus on trying to see what I can do with the crabs.
Okay. Please give me animal handling first.
God.
I've got to be able to get
Is
this.
it still like animal handling if it's microscopic? I'm pretty sure that's just
Still is.
biology.
60.
Roll animal
Okay.
biology. Biology handling.
You exert your druidic influence over the crabs through a process that I, the DM, am not druid knowledgeable enough to understand, but it happens.
I mean, I can scrape some off
You
the
feel
jar
like-
and commune with the crabs.
Yes, you do commune with the crabs. People are like, why does Asha have a jar of sand? And you're like, they don't know I have a jar of crabs. Can you next give me a nature roll, please?
Depending on where you scrape them off, they could be completely different crabs.
To irritate
17.
the one that you can communicate with the ones you put on 9 already.
You have divined the deeper nature of these crabs through your communion with them. You have inexplicably understood that they are more closely related to slugs than they are to lobsters.
Well, that's good to know.
It is. You feel a deep affinity with the crabs.
Is there any way I can train them to, like, take the drugs that they live in and, like, inject them into somebody that I put them on?
I'm pretty sure they just die.
You
They
can
live in
You
the
can-
drugs.
teach them to attack things that you put them on, and this will result in the drugs that cover them being introduced to the wounds.
Perfect. This will be useful. I will save the day with this knowledge.
You can spend a full day cultivating a jar of crabs, which you can hurl at your enemies using an
crab bomb.
action. You can create 2 of these during the journey if you would like.
And just go to the next one.
Can they live like that?
Not for very long.
Has there been an analog to the Geneva Convention in this world?
They continue to live on me, then I just have the ability to create a crab bomb
Well,
when I need to.
No,
Oh.
you need to prepare them ahead of time, but you just kind of have to keep scraping drugs into the jar to keep them alive for the most part.
Do I continue to produce the drugs? Like, are they? Is it?
At this point, yes,
Growing
you
on
just
me?
secrete
Okay.
them.
Okay, so
From
just
the
every now and then I
ecosystems.
gotta feed them.
Yes.
Oh, it's like, I don't know what's on here, but some of it's fun. Like,
It's like a part of my art. You
Serious
might die.
camping.
You might get high.
something will happen.
I can't imagine what
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Just that one.
And you are a fishing, Pimrin. A couple days into your fishing, a great golden eel slithers its way up your line,
Ooh.
bypassing the hook entirely.
Well, hello there.
Hello, Ambassador.
Oh,
It has been a long time since.
I've not had a fancy title like that. Who? Talking to me? Yeah. Not,
Yes.
Nobody's fine.
You-
Okay.
You bear the stench of the Great Queen. It has been quite a long time since one of her ambassadors came into my domain.
See, I bear a lot of stenches. Are you
Yes,
sure they're
I've
not just
noticed.
okay, good.
This is a particular one.
I see.
Unmistakable. Is there anything me and my people can do to aid you in your journeyings? I assume you are on official business if you are this far from
Oh yes.
her domain.
Well, that is very kind of you to offer. Actually, we were just wondering if there was any way we could get where we're going faster, but I don't know if that's something you and your domain could offer.
We could perhaps point you toward a whale road that would carry you swiftly through the waters much faster than the pathetic breezes in the sky could.
Does it take like a particularly skilled navigator to take advantage of that, or just you think pretty intuitive?
Well, it will take some doing to exit it when you require it.
I see.
But if you know your destination and it is on this plane, it is quite likely we could get you close to it.
Well, that sounds mighty attractive to me. Would you like anything in return for such a boon?
Oh no, gracing our territory is the greatest gift you could give us. It will, for generations, we will speak of the great honor you have bestowed upon us and rub their noses into it. He looks into the water and kind of gives a very eel-like smirk to somebody who's probably glaring enviously from the seas.
Goddamn white eels.
Speaking of the creatures down there,
Yes.
is it okay to fish here? Should we look for other food, or is that gonna?
Oh yes, anybody who is stupid enough to bite sort of deserves what they're getting.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, I just wanted to check to make sure that
It was quite all right.
Eels was
doing
going,
anything. No.
making us look dumb.
I don't want to, commit any sea crimes, of course, anything like that.
I don't know what that means.
Well,
What is a crime?
Everything he does.
You know what? I'm not going to introduce that concept to your culture. I think.
Thank you.
Get along with your-
We are quite
It's
happy.
better that way, yeah. All right. Well, so where is that nearest whale road? What you speak?
If you would like to step upon it, we will guide your vessel into it. You will you will know when you enter it.
That makes sense. Okay. Cool. Sweet. Yeah, that would be absolutely excellent. Thank you so much.
You are quite welcome. And he just sort of falls backward. Off, and there's a very flat plurp as he smacks into the surface of the water and disappears.
Goes down in the water, sharks eat him.
I am king of this domain now. You're not going to put you on the railroad.
Flips him off.
So there.
So guys, you know how I talked to the bug that's in Salir's eye and things like that before, like talking to the tree and all that stuff, right?
Gorge used to talk to things too.
Yeah, but I could talk to all
You
sorts.
sure you're not the chosen one?
I'm not the chosen one. Definitely not. I don't hear any music. But an eel talked to me while I was fishing and said he can get us to our destination faster. We'll know when we see it.
I would not trust an eel that's like a snake, but in the water.
He's giving us a new navigator.
I think they're going to lead us to a shortcut, and then the navigator will take over from there.
I swear to God, if this just leads us back to the fucking squid.
Snake with legs.
Oh no, it seems like every road
Bitch slap off.
Tasha didn't do anything.
She called me a snake with legs.
You, if an eel
He doesn't
is
have a
basically
tail
a
and
snake,
snakes do.
you're just as close,
He's closer. He has scales.
and he breathes air.
You really can't argue with
And
that.
he has a tail.
Still hitting her.
And he eats greatly. Like,
Christ.
It's just,
Isn't it always 9?
9 performs a smack.
well, yeah, but he's got to actually smack you first.
Oh, yeah.
22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits a little bit.
Does a 22 hit? Okay.
Christ.
There's a jolting, and the ship begins to swivel in place.
oh, there it is.
And the person you have promoted to captain is screaming that he doesn't have any idea what's going on.
Oh, don't you worry. We're headed to a whale road.
What?
A railroad, but in the ocean.
What's a railroad?
There are trains.
Are there?
You know, those little birds, rails? That's where they go.
There are very few trains, but there are trains.
Yeah, we're headed to the whale road.
Choo choo.
Choo choo.
Train boat.
He may have never been on the train that connects the Dwarven Kingdom to the Human Kingdom.
Oh, possibly. But this will make us go a lot faster to our destination. But we're gonna need you to be on top of your game and navigate. Okay?
But I'm trying to navigate, but it's not working.
Well, not right now because we're on the whale road, or we'll be on the whale road soon.
So when we're not on the whale road anymore, then I have to do it again. But I've got kind of a vacation
We're
or
gonna get
sort of
off.
break.
Yeah.
Soon we'll be closer to our destination thanks to the whale road. And you need to let us know that we're close to the destination so we can get off the whale road instead of going past it. We don't want to miss our exit, of course.
I don't know where that is. I don't know
We'll
where
work
to.
it out. We'll work it out. Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll get to that when we come to it. It's fine.
The ship kind of drags sideways for a little bit, and then there's like a sudden jerking sensation, and the ship is now going almost as fast as it was previously when the Spaghetti-O Man was at his full capacity, but not quite as much. And you're just kind of going through the water now.
Sweet.
Neat, says the captain.
Yeah, this will.
I don't see any whales though.
So, what kind of navigation tools do you need to make sure that we don't go past our exit?
I told you I don't know how to navigate.
We might need a new navigator.
Didn't we have
You have a navigator. He's just disassociating on the deck over there.
All right, we might need a new navigator.
Or just like a therapist for this one.
Perhaps you might need some motivation.
Never heard of a whale road before, he says.
9.
That certainly doesn't sound like anything real.
Motivate
I
that
like to
navigator.
think that Pimrin hears motivation for the navigator and thinks like, oh, you're going to offer him an extra share of the ale. So
Yes.
they're thinking far more deviously.
Well, we're just gonna have Sawyer threaten him until he does his job. Worked for him all so far.
There's only one threat. I don't offer a second time.
Well, did you threaten this one yet?
Well, no, I thought Pimmerton was sending numbnuts over there to go.
He's just been there with him this entire time, I think.
It doesn't seem effective.
No.
Go motivate the navigator.
As we're definitely going fast again. Much faster than, a real ship would go.
So
I feel like you almost don't even need a navigator. You're going this fast.
We don't need the captain, we need the navigator. Because the navigator is going to tell us when to get off our exit.
Right, but you were asking the captain something.
Oh, I was just I confused the roles of captain and navigator. You see?
No, okay, so we need
It's very
the
easy to
navigator
do,
needs
says the captain.
tools.
Yes,
Maybe that's why he's not doing his job, just sitting around being a bum.
potentially, but also we need to
Okay.
motivate him to actually take us off the whale road in time, or we're gonna get all sorts of lost.
All right. So we need to know if he needs tools.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has his tools
The
Well,
navigator,
then why
yeah.
is he not navigating?
because he's catatonic.
He hasn't been properly motivated.
I'm not catatonic, I'm asleep, he says.
That
They say you don't dream when you cataton.
What?
That's what I've always heard from the doctors.
how many doctors have
Is
you
he
seen?
asleep or awake?
He thinks this is a
Maybe
dream.
3.
He thinks this is a dream.
You need to go threaten
Well, it
him
is a dream.
until
Of
he
course
does
it's a
his
dream.
job.
It's not.
Have you ever seen a ship that moves like this when there's no wind? Of course not.
Yeah.
Okay, but how is it a dream if I'm not sleeping?
No, it's his dream.
No, you see,
Oh, we're in his dream?
you
He
don't.
thinks he's dreaming right now.
You don't exist. You are all figments of my imagination because I am very ill in the head, apparently, and I need to see a doctor.
Actually, I'm pretty sure that you think that, and that's true, but we're all actually in Oshit's head. We're in your head within Oshit's dream currently.
Mama always said this is what a university education would do to me, and I didn't believe her. But now, look,
So are we in the dream?
it's like I got a whole book in my head
Probably.
full of philosophical meanderings where people are trying to convince me that I'm only the figment of somebody else's imagination. That's not something I would have ever thought up on my own. That's what I get for reading books.
Get him to do his job. We're gonna have to give you a navigator.
I mean, look at the two of you.
This guy's a pain in the ass.
You're like the living embodiment of my anxiety of not being able to comprehend the idiotic things they've put in my textbook.
I've been the.
I couldn't have come up with it more perfectly myself if I'd tried. This is the genius of the subconscious mind.
Well, I always say the only
What
good
have you
book is
done to
the
him,
book,
huh?
so.
You hit him too hard, didn't you?
That's because
I'm never reading a book again. You got the red idiot.
Yeah, right?
He could have just not lied to him the one time, and none of this would have ever happened. I don't know why you do that to
He's
people.
like, wow, am I dreaming right now? And Penryn was like, yeah. And
Yeah.
he hasn't let go of that since.
But maybe.
How can we prove it's not true?
Exactly. This is the kind of useless philosophy I've been filling my head with for the last 6 years.
But, if this is a dream, you probably won't wake up until we reach your destination. That's kind of how dreams work.
See, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm
so I
thinking
think
maybe.
you could navigate us.
I think he's just now coming to grips with the fact that student loans weren't worth it.
If this is all some kind of manifestation of my subconscious, then you could say that me navigating to our destination is like me unraveling all of my problems.
There you
Yeah.
go.
And I've been avoiding it just like I have been all my life from
Yeah.
all of my problems. So I am going to help you, figments, and
Don't
I'm going to be a changed man when I wake up.
Yeah.
please don't call us figments like a slur. I don't appreciate that.
Figure.
We're in Oshit's dream.
Yeah, I think so, probably.
No, he's lying to you now.
I would pick
I would never tell.
He immediately walks over to our captain and starts talking with him about trying to discern what the deeper symbolic meaning of a railroad is. The captain is extremely confused, but he's
Choo-choo real fast.
he's got his navigator's tools out, and he seems to be plotting the course that you guys are
I
on.
don't know why y'all had such trouble with him.
Choo-choo boat goes.
I was really busy fishing. I didn't really try that hard.
Why are you even fishing?
Food.
Because there's fish, and they keep
You
biting.
can't fish enough to feed everybody. You keep having to summon food.
Supplemented, yeah. But we want fresh fish from the local water. It's the best food you can get around here.
It's the only food you can get around here.
That's the joke, yeah.
There's also the kelp.
There's the kelp.
Right.
The sailors preferred the local fish to the kelp, if we're being perfectly honest.
Local fish didn't try to kill them. The kelp would come down violently.
Yes. So, several days pass. You have a finished translation book. You have lots of fish. You have 2 jars of crabs.
Did anything bad happen reading an entire evil Eldritch Tome aloud?
Surprisingly, no.
Of course not.
Just read it all phonetically and just summon an ancient horror.
That's literally how they go.
Yeah.
That's the plot of every...
Basically.
We do have an extra dwarf now.
Yeah, but see, now we could actually read it and understand what we were reading. It's probably more
Yes.
dangerous in translation.
It
than
probably.
most people are.
In Solaire's estimation, it may not be an amazing idea to read some of the stuff in translation. And
Was he careful to not read it as he was writing it down? Forget each word as soon as he wrote it.
He's drunk the whole time. I don't think...
He might forget, but the iBug will never forget.
the iBug has gained several levels in Warlock throughout this experience.
I'm not convinced that Solaire says anything because he's drooling half the time, but I also don't think anything he wrote down is going to make any sense to a sober person. Which means he's probably the only one who can read it.
So you
This is how I dipped into world.
Yes.
As the time passes, Solaire, your eyesight returns, and colors seem more vibrant through that eye. Eventually, your brain just kind of synchronizes the two pictures together, and you don't notice anything different from one eye to the other unless you like deliberately close one eye and compare the things that you
You
see.
need to do this.
Does it work with the book? Like, can you read the book now?
I wrote the book.
No, with the translator you did. But can you do it on
It
your
does
own
not
now?
allow Solaire to just read text translated.
I'll stick the other bug in my eye though, since it didn't kill him.
The bug is dead by this point.
Oh, I totally need to find an eye. We should have tried a fish eye or something.
Oh well, we could
Put
open
it temporarily into a sailor's eye, and then just take
If-
the eye out when we wanted it back.
If earlier in the voyage you would like to have put it in something else's
There's
eye.
no way they would have had a
Sure,
second
we
thought.
can get
We're too
another one of
forgetful.
these bugs. I mean,
Yeah.
I produced them almost
Well,
instantly.
would there be, like, after I knew for sure that it wasn't going to kill him with the bugs?
I mean, you don't.
Like,
How long did it take you to realize it was
going
gonna
to
kill
blind him?
I mean, he was blind at least like the whole most of the first
So,
day.
like, would his vision have returned before the bug died?
Yeah, it would have.
Okay, because once his vision returned, I would have then put it in my eye.
Okay, so we'll say the bug didn't die and you
Cool.
put it in your eye. So can you make me a Constitution saving throw versus unbelievable pain?
A phrase
17.
every D&D can
So much
You
better.
knew that it was gonna be bad enough to make Solaire like drop to one knee for a second.
My arm first.
So you did a lot of drugs, is what I assume. And you're like, whoa, that's trippy. It's not very comfortable.
Wonder how that poor bug's going to deal with all the drugs that course through the system.
Watch, it's gonna see.
You will take 1 piercing damage.
Can you imagine if it synced with like all the crab's eyes?
I don't feel like she's going to be seeing regular things through that.
Watch, it's gonna be able to see like ultraviolet and stuff, like all sorts of colors.
You
That
go
bug
blind
is
in that
going
eye.
to be
Oh, the killers.
tripping the whole time.
And your vision will have started to return by the end of the voyage, but you will not have. You will not be back as much as Solaire's is by the end.
Okay.
So at a certain point, the navigator's just like, yeah, we're gonna need to leave here. We're gonna be veering off course if my calculations are correct. And the captain's like,
I like this guy.
well, how will we do that? And the navigator's like, you spin the wheel. That's how the rudder works. And he's like, oh, that's cool. He's like, you're the captain. Wow. And he's like, I'm not the captain, but they're telling me I'm the
It's
captain.
the field promotion.
It's an elected
Yeah.
position.
It's not.
Elected by
Us four.
us four.
I voted for Pinrin.
I think he's actually more or less the captain.
There's
He tells
somehow
the captain what to do.
a
Pimmer just conceded the race earlier.
there's a heavy grating noise somehow as the ship exits the whale road, and it takes an unfortunately long time as the ship is now operating only under wind and with a unfortunately reduced crew because a good number of them were sacrificed to the Spaghetti-O Man.
Why didn't that just request more crew members?
We could if we could.
You can if you feel like.
That's not my responsibility. I'm fishing.
I don't think we'll go faster with more.
That's all I should snap.
It's not like they paddle.
It may be difficult to just kind of integrate a bunch of random people into
We're
an
not in a hurry.
underway crew.
We were never in a hurry. I'm not sure why any of this has happened.
Well, then why the hell did we have to leave the casino so quickly?
We didn't.
We had to go, get out of town. Yeah.
No, we didn't. In fact, I was saying we would go a completely different direction and not even bother coming this way.
You're the one that's taking us there.
That was after a group vote. I wanted to go north and go visit a blacksmith.
We got brought the blacksmith to you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This was never a hurry.
Yeah, but we
Well,
weren't.
it is.
So why did you wait for your armor to be done?
Yeah. I can wait when we're there.
I guess that's true.
When we can just summon infinite resources, why not hurry everywhere? Time is the one thing we can't summon.
You tried.
We haven't.
It was asked whether you did ask last session whether you could abduct time. And he actually said he thought there was some way that it should be possible, but he wasn't able to put his eye on it.
Time is a bit too big to be
Perhaps, yes.
abducted.
It is convoluted, though.
Which
makes it a likely
a
candidate.
magic clock that we can set what time we want it to be.
He seems to struggle with magic things, though. But we could try. I
Can you
suppose.
figure out how to look off the ass end of the boat? It's not very bright.
That's true.
If in the middle of the boat tells me you can see what's at the ass end of the boat.
So yeah, I mean, I did that without anyone even telling me to. I just because I was curious.
You eventually scrape into the large harbor, and your crew looks more hopeful than you've ever seen a person look at the sight of land.
Did we pay them?
No.
You did not pay them. The captain ostensibly paid them.
Oh, okay.
We were not going to pay them at the start because it would weigh down the ship, and we were going to pay them when we got there. That was the
Okay.
plan.
Just summon money for them. Half of them got turned into a fucking spaghetti-o.
To be fair, they signed the contract that said that was a possibility.
Did it?
I don't have the bell.
It literally did, yes. Yes.
Maybe they don't want money. Should we give each of them what they actually want?
Money. Just give them
Have
one.
one,
that's a
let
good
them have
idea.
one request each.
Now that we've all hurried here across the ocean, we should slow down the process.
Put each one of them in turn in front of the.
And they can ask for whatever
They'll
fee
make
they
a wish. He'll
want.
give them something.
Everybody
horrible.
stand with your backs against the wall, one at a time, come forward. And say very carefully.
For God's sake, money can get
I
them
think money
anything.
might be better for, especially in this foreign land where they don't have.
We don't know these people. Just
But
get
what
them
if he
gift
drops
cards.
it like he did the last time? That's not hurt.
Let's step away from the crew.
We give each of them a basket and have him rain gold from the sky.
It's like the tornado chamber full of bills, but it's with gold coins instead.
Yes.
Let's take it to a very populated, busy part of the city.
I'm trotting off the boat. Fuck all this.
You exit the boat.
What a surprise he's leaving.
Can we go now? One of the sailors asks.
Well, did you want money?
Oh yes, that would. Pay would be fantastic. Yes.
That's what we're trying to arrange here.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're gonna need money, but not here on top of us. Like just a little ways away, so it doesn't fall on the crew and kill.
Water.
Oh yes, we did something similar before.
Yeah.
Yes, it will take some delicate doing, but when you say money, can you be a bit more specific?
Gold.
Yes.
Gold coins.
Gold coins, yes. Very large ones or small ones?
Probably whatever is in use
Normal.
in this place here.
Oh, that makes things quite easy.
Perfect.
Imagine that.
You just hear from every storefront. My money.
Because
You did specifically ask him to conjure money from here.
Yes.
Non-sequential gold coins.
because a massive economic event in this place, everything crashes.
How much would you like? How many?
What did we
Do we
promise
agree an
them?
amount to pay these guys?
I think you should just ask them what they want. And
I'll just I'll point to the first sailor and
Just
be
give it to
like,
them.
how much money were you promised?
they were good.
He's thinking
I
too hard.
kinda
Ask somebody
got him.
stupider.
I feel like it would be a terrible idea to lie.
It would be,
The
I
captain
don't know.
said we would arrange that afterward.
I
It
see.
was everybody was going to get an equal share.
How much do you
The captain
normally
was
get
going to
paid
get 10
for
shares.
a trip like this?
Well, yeah, we're not paying the captain extra.
There isn't really a
we
normal
killed the
amount on this kind of
How much would you like?
mission.
Just name a figure.
I mean,
Doesn't matter what
I'd
it is.
love 1,000 gold coins.
Wonder.
Give him 500.
All right, yeah, everybody gets, everybody
not
gets
even our
2,000 gold coins.
There we go.
There we go.
The economy here will never be
All right.
Literate dwarf. Do you want to go
Yep.
with them or us?
Do I want to get 2,000 gold coins, or do I want to go
I
with the
wasn't offering you
people?
money. I said, do you want to go be part of their boat?
Or do I want to
do
go with the people who can conjure 2,000 gold coins on a whim?
each.
Wow.
Don't.
I wonder, is that a choice? I don't think that's a choice.
You're more likely to live if you go with them.
I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to stay with you.
Okay. Cool, we have a literate dwarf.
who
People shouldn't follow us.
definitely has not had any evil magic absorbed.
Stacks of newly minted gold coins start piling up on the deck,
Perfect.
and the crew members are looking at each other. Somebody asks, "Do we have anything to carry that off with?"
The boat's just.
I'm afraid that's your. This,
Oh, boy.
this is why we don't want to pay you at the start of the journey.
Yeah, they're not our problem anymore.
This gold is your problem now.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I guess you
Okay.
could hire some locals to help you guard it and stuff and all of that.
What's that?
They'll probably need the money after we sacked it all from the local economy.
Suddenly the treasury of the local lords is empty.
Yes.
All the newly minted coin is gone.
And this random group of seemingly pirates has all of it.
So you're giving everybody 150 pounds of gold coins.
Excellent.
And how many of them are there?
There's a couple dozen.
Yeah, how much can the boat hold before it just goes under?
Oh, thankfully more than that.
Well,
I
I mean, you
imagine-
figure 150 pounds is about the weight of one sailor, and they're missing half the sailors, so
Yeah.
it'll be fine.
I mean, it's not carrying a horse anymore.
It's everybody's now hunting the ship for sacks that we're not going to just like tear open.
Like the carrying capacity of a commoner would be like 150 pounds.
Should,
Yeah.
should we
imagine
try to
so.
get them all chests so they have something to conveniently put their coins in?
Now they threw all that in the ocean. They don't get more.
They did throw pretty much all their containers in
But
the
I'm saying,
ocean.
should we just get them
They
chests?
did that.
They
for
had their
us.
chance.
Well, they made us go faster.
I don't have
They
any
did it for
objection
us.
to get
Yeah, let's just get them some chests.
Yes.
One chest for each of the sailors on that journey, and the navigator.
What sort of creature should the chest be from?
That is a good
A
question.
wooden
Actually.
box
Oh, that sort
large
of
enough
chest.
to
Yes.
hold the amount of coins you gave them.
Well, that's quite doable.
Okay, I thought so.
Takes them from the same place.
Yeah.
And a bunch of
They're looking through their empty chests like, where'd that go? And then the chest's just
maybe they were never there to begin with. Some pretty plain but solidly built wooden chests appear on the ship. With every passing moment, each crew member looks a
Navigator now.
little more greedy than he did
I
before.
included the navigator.
Oh, okay.
No. The navigator says, "Well, it does seem that I have received a tremendous treasure as the just reward for my labors. I guess the question now is, why have I not woken up before putting my hands upon these lovely gold coins? Which is, the sort of thing that usually happens when I'm about to achieve my heart's desire in a dream."
It was reality
This
the
is-
whole time.
No, this was an experimental dream procedure. You actually live in this town here. You have your whole life. And this whole ordeal was just to help you recover some of your memories.
Can you make me a persuasion roll at disadvantage?
Would that be a deception?
Yes.
I had a whole family.
I can make a trade, but by deception.
yeah, deception.
This is definitely what Pimmerman was going for. No, 28.
Can you make me that at disadvantage?
Oh, and disadvantage, yes. Sorry. 26.
Okay. He sits down and lets the gold coin slip through his fingers. He says, "It all makes sense.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
You had to come to terms with all the, those issues and stuff along the way.
My family must be incredibly rich."
Actually, this is your inheritance. They're all. It was in their will to have this procedure done for you. It's not your calling to become a vigilante of this town. Your newfound wealth.
Oh, I see. I must have driven them to despair with my family.
Be anything you want to be.
Always talking about how I was in a dream
Yeah.
in college.
Yeah.
I feel so ashamed. I must right this wrong I have done.
2,000 gold Batman.
He just sits on the chest and just stares at his hands for a while.
I could afford one Batarang.
It becomes what he has feared most: dreams.
Yeah, are the rest of you gonna leave the ship?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've done enough damage to these people.
I'm already asking directions to the front.
Independently wealthy. How are they damaged? They have
Half
more,
of them are dead.
they have more. That wasn't our doing.
For once.
And these half are all very wealthy.
Heroes.
We've taken very good care of these people.
We freed a prisoner.
You did for your prisoner.
Serial
She's
rapist
gonna
and
kill us all
cannibal.
in our sleep.
She has not volunteered what her crimes were.
I didn't ask.
She just says that she's innocent. She's volunteered that quite a lot.
Probably
Convinced
is.
her.
Making baloney without a license. Some other stupid.
It's very
goofy
serious
shit.
in dwarf culture.
I was going to be in jail for 2 whole hours.
Even Asha knows that one.
Your crime was being taller than normal dwarves.
Lovely.
So does our new traveling companion have a name?
Yeah.
You broke him.
You can call me Sheila. It's not my name, but that's what you can call me.
Not dwarf, literate.
That's only on the computer there when we go into combat. Checks up the literally.
Yeah, exactly.
Ready to get down.
I love how that specifically implies that most dwarves are illiterate, because this is the specifically.
Well, your sample size of shit.
It's the only literate dwarf that you know of. So. In our current party, it's. We have a 50% literacy rate among dwarves.
And a 50% incarceration.
I am
No,
sure
I've been
this
in
one's
jail.
been incarcerated.
I was in jail in his house.
That's fair. I guess this party has a 100% pre-incarceration rate.
Yeah.
You are all ex-convicts.
True. Well, Pimran not. No.
That's
You're
true.
right. Pimran is an upstanding citizen.
Upstanding and would never tell a lie.
Yeah.
Never. Once.
Fucking con man if he had goals.
No.
He's just a liar.
Okay. So Lizard, where the hell are we supposed to be going? You're the one that brought us here.
I've already canvassed the locals to find our exact route to the front war.
This city, by the way, is considerably dirtier and smoggier than the destination trade hub tourist port town that you left.
You mean the good place?
The nicer place. There's lots of broken down buildings on the waterfront that looks like nobody's occupied them in quite a long time. You're the only ship in the harbor. And there's a bunch of very thin looking people who are just all
You sure there's a war being
have
fought
come
here?
down and are just looking at you.
Yeah, this kind of looks like what a town next to a war would look like.
Usually they're full of ships and men and supplies and things
There
going
doesn't
on.
seem to be any kind of supply chain coming through this.
Yeah, except they'd be coming from the country we were just in that got just completely obliterated by
That's a
everything.
single city. You realize there's a lot more cities on the water than that one.
There were a lot of them. It was like a destructive path between there, and then that city died, and that city died, and you killed that city.
Oh, I remember that city. They had good seafood.
Oh, poor city.
Pretty sure the population of that entire area is cut down to 10%.
There are not a lot of survivors in a lot of the places that you guys have come into contact with. Not always because of you guys.
We do need to be on the lookout for strange new currencies on the market, though. Like heads turned into coins and things like that.
Yes, that's a very important thing to look out for.
Yes.
Why we don't pay for shit?
Well, last time that happened, there was a whole deal about it.
I'm paying for anything in that town.
That's true. Actually, Pimran was not there quite for that. He was in the town trying to pay for things. I do remember that.
I don't pay for things.
So there suggests that things happen and things tend to happen. Sometimes mummies are
Have you ever
involved.
seen him open that coin purse of his?
No, I have not actually. No, that's true.
You're never going to see it happen.
No, that's fair.
He just smashes through people's doors and they give him shit to go away.
You said that you immediately asked where the front line is.
Yeah, while everyone else was paying the crew, I was just waiting for the ship to get bombarded from space until it was so full of coin holes that it would sink. So I just immediately left and started asking where to go next.
Okay. You find an old lady who's very just like rudely staring at you like she's never seen a dragonborn before.
I'm used to this.
And she says, "What news do you carry from wherever you're from? Where are you from?"
I'm a traveler. Oh, I'm not with you.
No.
No.
That's a hard question to answer, and you probably don't want to know. Where's the front of the war?
I suppose that depends who you are and where you're coming from and who you're fighting for.
We're not really fighting. We just need to talk to someone that's there.
Oh, you're scavengers, are you? A lot of those have come this way. Not a lot of them stayed.
Why would
there's-
they? Are they gonna scavenge this place?
No, those scavengers come to the front lines and they take the stuff that people drop when they die. When I say it like that, it sounds like an MMO. They take all those fancy weapons the enemy has, the ones that shoot fire. And they say there's some wizards on the front line who, if you're real quick and you get away just in time, you can get whatever little bits of magic they had on their body before the enemy loots it. And then they take their stuff and, some of them leave, and I imagine they go sell them in places that actually have money to pay, but a lot of them don't make it back. I gotta say, we haven't had anybody come through the harbor in quite a long time. How did you make it past the big monsters? That's what's been ripping up everybody else's ships, they've been saying, is big monsters that just eat all the supplies that are supposed to be coming. That's why we're not getting any.
I didn't see any at all.
I guess you got very lucky. I guess the good saints, they must be watching over you. So maybe nothing I have to say really matters.
Yeah, but still, which way to the war?
If you're looking for the front lines, just go east. It's not to the east. It's very meandering, but just go east. That's the main road. You don't want to go through the forests. There's nothing good in there.
I'm not afraid of the forests. Where's the direct route?
Well, I suppose you could go southwest.
That is the opposite direction.
Yes, it is, and it is through the forests, completely avoiding the paths that our ancestors so carefully set up to keep us from having to walk through the forests.
I turn southwest to the ocean.
No, that way. you gotta go that way. Yeah, that's where the front line is.
Did you mean southeast?
I don't think I did.
'Cause we came from the west and hit coast.
I'm just repeating what the traders told me.
Tell me about the whale road.
Go whichever way you'd like. I'm just telling you. Point.
Senile bitches. It's like she forgot her own
She's
map.
pointing to the direction that you very clearly think is southeast, and she says southwest, but I don't advise it.
Do you want to just fly up there and look around for you?
See, on this side of the planet, north and south are swamps.
That wouldn't even
There was a polar
We
shift
went to the
during
other side of the
the alien
flat
invasion.
Do you remember
yeah.
us going over and around? And
It
happened while we were asleep. It's fine.
the eastern hemisphere.
It came to me in a dream.
We fucking.
Taylor totally has
We
not
fucking
forgotten
went
how the map
From
looks.
here, down around, up to here.
You have no idea where we went.
And there was like an island over here we didn't go to. And we go here, and she's like, nah, southwest. The exact direction.
Okay, she meant.
She
go to
told
the-
you to go take a swim. Is what
She meant go to the airport, get on Southwest.
Yes, southeast. You should totally not go southeast.
Into also the ocean.
Do we have a world map somewhere?
Yeah, on his computer. That's why I
Under
remember
the
this.
computer. It's usually like a year ago.
Yeah.
Next time I'll have the map up. Except I won't because I'll forget. I should have just had it printed at the print shop when we started the campaign.
I mean,
I own a printer.
east.
I mean, so do I. But like,
It's right there.
big map.
Oh.
East is fine, but then
Southeast! Southwest, she says. Southwest! I know my north and my south.
Find somebody smarter.
both of those are into the one. No, I just keep arguing with her
Southwest.
until you people show up.
She hobbles away at
I think
that
he
point.
actually has any idea where the hell he is.
I don't. I definitely don't.
We need to go up there and look for a war.
I think you guys are on the northwest coast of the continent at this point.
Not according to that.
Huh? What?
I thought we went.
Can you boot up the map?
Ferdinand has drawn us a map. We're going by that.
Gosh, I don't know my
On the northwest, how did we get on the north coast of anything since we're on the south coast?
Yeah.
I know this is a map of your world because that kind of looks like a wiener and that kind of looks like a boob.
I've completely forgotten
The only
where
two
I sent you
shapes
guys
of
to.
it.
So there's
Well, that's okay.
Okay.
I have no idea where the hell we were supposed to go anyway. So.
So the continent is, you could say it's vaguely shaped like this-ish. There's a mountain range that's like that. And the orphanage was kind of like here-ish.
Yeah.
No, it was like here-ish.
Yes.
Because
If someone
the enemy's nation is like here, and they came across the mountains, and that's how they ended up like at the orphanage. There's like big old river system that comes from here, and the bay was down here. That's where the casino was.
And that's where
You
we
guys-
left and headed east.
Okay, that's
I don't.
There was like another
completely the
continent.
opposite way that we were originally doing this.
Because
The orphanage was here. There was a big open body of water that the casino was on the other side of from where the orphanage was. The mountains went north because that's where we went to get up to where we met him.
yes, this area here is where you met Nine.
Right.
The front of the war is mostly taking place like right here.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we had to get to the.
So there was like a capital city, I think, like here-ish, and you were asked, would you mind going and laying waste to the enemy's capital city? And I don't think that's what you guys are doing. But I'm now trying to remember.
The war, yeah.
I don't know because we had to go to like 4 different places in 4 different areas of the continent.
Right.
What I was remembering, there is like one of the saints has territory like up here. For some reason, I was remembering you guys going like there, and
No, we went to where
but I don't think you are. Right.
Because we're checking on guy who is doing war.
That was the one we were aiming for, yeah. Which, I mean, if land navigation is slow, then it would still make sense to go up there, right?
Right.
I don't know what the
Because previously you teleported to there. You just kind of
terrain, hard to get over, that kind of thing, to get north, but
yes.
We would have tried to go.
we go all the way south and wrap back around the planet to get. Yeah, it's fine.
So the problem is here, me not keeping proper continuity of how things went together and where you guys were
absolutely
going.
no idea where Nine thought he was taking us anyway, so we could
So-
be any place on the continent at this point.
So time and space are convoluted. I am going to retroactively move where the front lines are.
So are we here now? Or are we
We are
here?
someplace.
You guys are.
I thought the front lines were somewhere east of Nine's house.
Yeah, we should be here.
Send us
Was
a map like with
your
your
house is
original
like here?
information
the-
here.
Oh god, I bet it's on YouTube somewhere 6 years ago.
Probably. Like, everything east of the mountain range is not your country.
Right.
And the enemy has gone over the mountains into your country, and that's where the front lines are.
Yeah, and I think Nine's house was somewhere up here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
I
west
believe
of
that's
the-
right.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Dreamers of Kiriak is streaming.
Oh my god.
Maybe we should
Whoa.
watch.
God, no.
Are you sure?
Nah, it's
So-
audio only. Who wants to look? I would rather look at a world map the whole time. Oh god, I'm gonna have to look further back than Horse Guy.
So if you
You're
guys...
gonna have to go a bunch of episodes back to bring the map back up.
It may be that you guys went back to the town that you first met Nyan at, which was also a coastal
Yes,
city
you
that
could
was
get
just
there
very
from
north.
There.
You would just have to circumnavigate the continent, and it would take you considerably longer than I was thinking your destination was away.
Why does this go from episode 6 to 26? And then nothing else.
That is a very good question.
Sometimes YouTube organizes videos versus live streams differently. I don't know.
It
Looks
does,
like
and it makes no sense. I think they said they were doing away with that, but it may not retroactively affect
Right.
stuff.
That could be.
I like how many of these like have the world map, but between sessions is the exact same image. He's also in them. Somewhere. This is all so long ago. I don't know if there's one that actually goes to like. There's the eyeball for 7
Yeah.
sessions.
All right.
Do you still have Roll20 or whatever this was in?
Foundry. I do still have that. I'm sure the world is extremely outdated by this point, but I'm sure I can still get into it. So, I'm gonna call the session, and I'm just gonna figure out what's going on before we play again. And I promise I will have something concrete and solid before we play again.
No. We can just use stand-ins. We are going direction towards war.
It honestly would be very fitting for our dream-themed campaign for us to
Yeah.
head east and then end up on the west suddenly.
Yes.
How did we get here?
Magic.
We just
I told you it was a dream. Calls the
We
navigator.
look back at the coast, it's completely different than when we arrived.
No, we're back at the lighthouse coast. We never left.
Yeah, exactly.
This is some bullshit.
Summon the giant.
Well, thank you guys for playing. Sorry